We'll give it a second for everything to get powered up and going. I hope everybody's having a great Monday. It looks like it might be working. Let's double check. Yay, it is working. Hello, welcome to this week's Monday Music Motivation. That's halfway working. It doesn't look like the title and stuff showed up correctly, so after this is over, I'll fix that, but I've tried to start it a few times now, so we're just gonna run with it, and hopefully everything is working. So what today's Monday Music Motivation is actually about, it's not about repair, that was last week's. Today we're gonna be talking about finding the gap and finding the gap in your playing. What I mean by that is really relevant to my own clarinet journey, and I think it's one of the best ways to find motivation and inspiration, so that's why I wanted to bring it up here on today's Monday Music Motivation, is because when you find the gap, that's what actually propels you to do the work to continue to improve and continue to grow. So for me in my playing, I started playing clarinet in 5th grade, like a lot of people do in elementary school, and I was pretty good at it right away. I got a clarinet the summer before school started, so I had a little bit of a head start, just sort of messing around on the instrument. And then I told my 5th grade band teacher that I was going to be the best clarinetist ever, and I was really super enthusiastic and really excited about band, and that just grew through middle school as well. I had a great band director in middle school, and we did weekly sort of playing tests, and we could do chair challenges to sort of move up to first chair, and that always got me really excited, and I always put a lot of work into my chair challenges, and eventually each year we made it up to first chair in my middle school band. Then I got to high school, and as a freshman I was one of the best clarinetists in my high school band, so I was like, I'm really good, I know what I'm doing, I've got this figured out. It felt great. But during those times I wasn't necessarily growing very much. Maybe in middle school when I had to sort of challenge my way up, I had a lot of growth, but then when I hit high school and was one of the best clarinetists already, I didn't have much that I needed to grow towards. I had closed the gap where this was good in my band and I was there. So I was set. I didn't have to get better. I didn't have to improve, and I could be where I wanted to be. But then my junior year, after my junior year of high school, I went to a summer camp, the Lamont Pre-College Summer Academy, which was really eye-opening because there I was not the best. There were definitely, I was maybe close, but there were other clarinetists there that I think were better. There were other musicians on other instruments that were definitely way, way better, and it was super eye-opening to see students my age performing at a much higher level and playing their instruments at a much higher level than I was, and that opened that gap. So then my senior year of high school, I started taking lessons with another teacher. I was doing 2 lessons a week. I started practicing regularly. I really, it lit this fire of oh, now I can see how much more potential there is in this field. I really need to get to work and start improving. And over my senior year of high school, I made massive growth, studying with a new teacher, practicing regularly. You'd be amazed at that, practicing regularly, how much that can improve your playing. And over that senior year, I went from being sort of barely making All-State, being in the 3rd clarinets my junior year. And then my senior year, I was first chair, first part of the All-State band because I found that gap. I identified that opportunity for improvement, and that motivated me to actually make the improvement. So what I want you guys to do this week is find the gap, search for that. And maybe you already have a really clear idea of this is how I want to play better. This is the potential of clarinet playing. I just wish I could play and sound like so-and-so. And that's great. If you already have that, that's fantastic. If you do already have that gap identified and can see the potential, I encourage you to go for it. Even if you're been playing a long time and haven't seen very tangible growth towards there, or maybe you've sort of given up saying like, oh, I don't want to be a professional, I'm never going to sound like the professionals. And if you're totally content with that, sure, that's totally fine. But we're here for Monday Music Motivation. We're here to motivate you and get you going. So I want to tell you, even if you've identified the gap but sort of given up on going for it, I think you should go for it. I think everybody is capable of sounding pretty darn good on their instrument with the right sort of motivation and mindset and practice routine. So even if you've sort of written yourself off before, I want you to get back in there and believe in yourself again and start going for that. And if you're somebody who feels like you're already really good for where you are, maybe you're the best in your band, whether that's community band, high school band, middle school band, or at whatever age you are, if you feel like you're already the best, then I want you to find somebody better. And that's super easy to do nowadays. You can just go on YouTube and search clarinet, watch some videos. You might even find some people on there who are your age playing way, way better than you are. And that will help you to, again, find that gap, open up that space, and find that motivation to go for it. So that, I think, is one of the very best ways to motivate yourself and get things going. And that's happened time and time again in my personal clarinet journey. I did it with the Lamont Summer Academy. I was first chair, all-state, Colorado high school, like best high school clarinetist in the state. My freshman year of college, first quarter, dead last chair. The lowest of the totem pole after my seating auditions. So again, the gap was opened up and I had to close it. Then I went to do my master's degree at Northwestern, and there were like freshmen and undergrads there playing like pretty much almost as good as I was playing as a master's student. I was just like, holy smokes, these kids are younger than me and playing incredibly well. So again, that opened the gap and motivated some more improvement. So always be finding that gap. Always be looking towards and looking up to players better than you. And it's really important. I'll probably talk about this next week if the titles get situated right, but I'll talk about this next week of comparison. Don't do this in a way like, oh, they're so much better than me, I can never do that. I sort of talked about that already. Don't write yourself off. Be like, wow, that person does music so much better than me. I want to be able to do music like them, and I can do music like them, because everybody's capable of it. It's just a matter of learning and practicing in the right ways. And then finally, I want to say this is sort of the motivation to get you going and sort of the purpose to find the gap and close the gap. But how to do that is actually really important. Like I just mentioned, practicing and learning in the right way is really important. I think one of the best things that you can do for yourself right now to work on the how to play and what to be focusing on to make that progress is to go to quickstartclarinet.com/test drive, where you can test drive the next generation clarinet method and sort of get the layout of all of my core teaching philosophies, where you can really see what I think are the core fundamentals and the core things to be working on and developing in your playing, no matter what skill level you're at. This is the breakdown of when I found the gap, what things did I do to close that gap, is all in the test drive. So if that sounds interesting to you, go to quickstartclarinet.com/test drive to check it out. Thanks so much for being here for the Monday Music Motivation. Thanks so much for your patience with the technology. Hopefully next week it'll work better, but it's a very mysterious thing, this technology. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next week on the next live Monday Music Motivation. Oh, and I almost forgot, fill out your template. As always, here's what it looks like, what your plan is for the week. And again, can be sort of how you're going to make that progress, what you're going to do this week to find the gap, close the gap. Everybody's goal this week should be to clarify that gap and go for it. So fill out your template, go to quickstartclarinet.com/test drive and sign up for the test drive. That'd be a great goal and a great thing to put in your plan and put in your schedule. Have a great week of practice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week on the next Live Monday Music Motivation.